All right, guys. So in this video, we're going to talk about how you can get video content clients that not only pay for big ticket packages, but also stay for the long term. You can build some monthly recurring revenue and you can stop having feast or famine in your business and in your personal life. So let's go ahead and dive in. This is a very common question that I get in the DMs when I'm working with people, right? And so they're like, how do I bring on more clients? I've been getting a lot of clients that don't have any budget, or at least that's what they say so they can get off the phone because they're not actually sold on what you're doing. They don't see the value in my videos. That's another big common problem that I see a lot. I had a guy tell me this. I can't help them see the value in the work that I'm doing, right? They don't see the value. And I'm like, yeah, because you haven't communicated that value to them. It is your job to actually do that. They are afraid to commit. He's having a hard time getting them to say yes to the services, okay? Or they only pay per project, they pay per gig, AKA they don't stay or they don't pay for retainers, so it's feast or famine. So I'm gonna give you guys a framework that you can use to actually solve these problems. And we're gonna go into 3 different points here. So the reason why you are having all of these problems, number 1, is because you are not clear on who you want to serve, right? So let me ask you a question. Who is your dream client? Okay. And what tends to happen is that a lot of people, when they're trying to sell their services, they don't really niche down to focus on just working with one industry. I talk about working with one industry, one service within that industry, and then having an ideal client that you're going to specifically work with in this industry. I break that down in other videos. But the reason why this is important is that if you try to speak to everyone, you end up actually speaking to no one. Okay, and then people will not trust you. So the way that I explain it to people is that if I am a doctor and I want to grow my practice, then I'm going to start looking for marketing agencies. Who is the marketing agency that I'm going to work with? Agency A, who works with a ton of different people, doesn't really have great results, or maybe has subpar results within multiple industries, or agency B, who works with dentists that do Invisalign, that are doctors that are making over $500,000 a year and that have the iTero machine. I'm gonna work with agency B. I'm gonna work with agency B because they are a specialist in the field, okay? And so what agency B is doing is that they're creating all of this social proof, all of this credibility, because me, if I'm the doctor, I'm gonna work with the guy that I know is gonna get me the best result. It's like betting on a horse. I would never bet on a horse that I know is gonna lose. And the way that you all are setting yourself up right now is you're setting yourself up for failure because you are not specializing in a specific industry and you are not speaking to that audience pain points. The only way that you can get dream clients that pay and stay is by actually understanding what it is that they want and what they don't want. So if you try to speak to everyone, you're gonna speak to no one, okay? And you have to get your messaging down. What is your messaging? Messaging is your marketing content, the words that you're saying in your videos, the words that you're saying in your copy, on your website, on your landing pages, on your emails, on your text messages, everywhere. So, is your content speaking to your dream clients, the dream clients that have the money to pay you, right? Or are you attracting brokies? Oh, they're afraid to commit. They don't have the budget. Yeah, because you are not speaking to your dream clients, the clients that have money, because you are not set up in a way to attract those people. Does your content attract brokies? If you're having these issues, it probably is, okay? Also, are you qualifying your prospects? Understand that in any market, there's gonna be people that have money and people that don't have money. You wanna go into a market where the majority of people have money, right? It's like working with doctors. Doctors have monies, restaurants don't really have a lot of money. All right, so don't go work with restaurants, okay? But you need to qualify that market as well. So that's why I said you wanna work with one industry, one service within the industry, and then one ideal client, and we use qualifiers for this. So I said in the beginning of the video, a doctor who's making a minimum of $500,000 a year, because I know that they can afford my services, okay? And that they have a specific machine, right? Those are qualifiers. So are you calling those people out in your messaging? To give you an example, my agency works with med spas and orthodontists. Right now we're running ads for orthodontists. So our ad says, are you an orthodontist that's making $30,000 a month, but you want to get to $80,000 a month? I am being very specific in who I am speaking to. And you're doing a call out in your ad copy to say, if that's me, if I'm an orthodontist that's making $30,000 a month minimum, I raise my hand and I say, this guy is talking to me and his message is gonna resonate with me because he understands what I need and what I'm going through, okay? So I'm hoping this is starting to make sense for you guys. Again, do they have money? That is a big question you wanna ask yourself when you're going after an industry, when you're deciding who it is that you want to serve. Ask yourself, do they have money? And then on top of that, what is the TAM of that market? TAM stands for total addressable market. Is the market big enough? Okay, that's something that you want to ask yourself, because if you go after a market that isn't really that big, understand that acquiring clients for that market is going to be very difficult. Okay, and you're going to tap the market very quickly. And so minimum, you want to go after a market that at least has 30,000 people in the United States, or if you want to expand to other countries, you can do that too. Later, I'm actually going to give you a model that is not a model that is restricted based off geography. So we'll dive into that here in a little bit. So that's point number one, guys. You have to get really clear on who it is that you want to serve, and you have to attract the people that you don't want, and you have to repel the people that you don't want with clear, specific messaging. But the only way you get good messaging is by knowing who it is you want to serve. You have to get clear on who they are, and you have to understand every nuance about them. You have to know their frustrations, their pains, their wants and desires. And when you can understand these things and speak to those things and then present your solution as the thing that will solve the pains and the frustrations and that will give them their wants and their desires, then that's how you attract people that are your dream clients. So I hope that makes sense. All right, so that's point number one. Point number two is that, does your offer solve your dream client's main problem? And so the reason why you can't get them to commit is because your offer isn't enticing enough. Your offer isn't solving their main problem. And so understand that your clients don't care about your videos. They don't care about your designs. They don't care about your website. They don't care about their social presence. What they do care about is the byproduct of that, okay? The byproduct of what those things get them. So in your offer, if you're doing a sales call with somebody and all you're talking about is your videos and how that's going to amplify their social presence, you're not really speaking to their wants and their desires. You're not telling them how your product, how your solution will solve their biggest problems, right? And that's why you can't get them to commit, because they're like, yeah, this guy's not solving my problem. Like, it is hands down black and white, okay? And I'll address this whole budget thing here in a little bit too. One is you have to attract people with money for sure, but then there's another thing to that. I'll discuss that in point number three. What do people want? What do your clients want? Most of them want more customers, more clients, and more patients, all right? It just depends which industry you're in. AKA, they want more sales, they want more money, all right? That's what people want. So what is the byproduct of getting more customers, clients, or patients? They want more sales, they want more money. And so does your offer speak to this? I was talking with a gentleman earlier today, and his offer was he was helping small to medium businesses build their social presence. That was his offer. First of all, that offer is not specific, okay? Small to medium businesses is anybody and everybody. Okay, it's not specific. It doesn't speak to me. It doesn't speak to my heart, to my soul, right? If somebody comes and pitched me that, I'm just gonna ignore it, because there's so much noise in today's marketplace, right? There's so many people pitching so many different things. The only way that you can be music to people's ears is, again, if you understand their pains, their frustrations, their wants, and their desires. You have to do real marketing work. So small to medium businesses, and then on top of that, grow their digital presence. As a business owner, I don't care about growing my digital presence. What I care about is growing my digital presence so that I can get more clients and make more money, Okay, so you have to make your offer strong. And you can make it even stronger than the example that I gave by adding metrics. And if you recall, my offer with the orthos is, if you're an ortho that is making $30,000 a month and you're stuck, I'm gonna help you build your business and grow it to $80,000 a month. I'm gonna help you build a 7-figure orthodontic practice. That in itself is a strong offer. I'm gonna help you get 10 new clients, 10 new patients every single month. By building your social presence is the mechanism, it's the vehicle, it's what's gonna get them there, but that is not what they want. That is not what they desire, okay? So you have to speak to their desires, and the only way you can do that is by going back to point number 1. You have to understand what your market wants by knowing who they are. All right, so I hope that makes sense for you all. I'll leave this open here. Does it address their main problem? Does your offer address and solve their main problem? Does your service get them their dream outcome? What is their dream outcome? If you can address this and have an offer that is very strong, they will then see the value of your videos. Because again, nobody cares about your videos. What they care about is what your videos will get them. You have to speak to them as a business owner, not as a freelancer or a videographer. You have to speak at their level, right? So, super important, guys. I hope that makes sense. Let's go into point number 3. And so, the reason why all of this stuff is happening to you is that, are you helping them afford your services, right? So, does your service get your clients a tangible result? Is it making them more money? Is it making them a return on investment? If it is, then that's how they will then have the budget to pay for your services, and not just that, to actually stay. The only way clients will stay is if they're getting a return on your investment, okay? So stop relying on the algorithm. To me, this is ridiculous. Like, the algorithm will only show your content to a small percentage of people, and the only way you can actually improve that is if you make viral content. But what are the chances that you strike gold and you make a video that actually goes viral for them? Not a lot. You're relying on chance versus actually a guaranteed way to get them those views, right? And so that's the thing with this. Like, you don't have to shoot content every single month for your clients, and you actually shouldn't. It's a bad way to build a business. I know there's guys out there telling you to build these video content agencies and you can scale that to 30, 50, 100,000, $200,000 a month. Guys, not to say that it's impossible, because nothing is absolute in life, but in my experience, like even when I had my creative agency, because that's what we did for the longest time, I had my creative agency since 2010 all the way to 2017. We made money, but we weren't profitable. And there was times where I couldn't even pay my employees. We were 12 people. We had a 3,000 square foot space, and everybody had IMAX. We had all this production gear. Like, we looked super cool from the outside looking in, right? It was the romanticized version of the dream agency that I always wanted, but we weren't profitable. And the reason was because we were reinventing the wheel every single time we brought on a new client. We were solving new problems for every single client because we didn't niche down. Okay, that was like a really big issue. And every time a client would come, it was a new problem that we had to solve. So it was very time and labor intensive. It wasn't until 2017 when I figured it out that we were actually able to scale and do all the way up to $180,000 a month and turning into a $1.5 million a year agency, okay? And I'll tell you what I did right now. And so stop relying on the algorithm. The way that you start relying on the algorithm is by leveraging paid ads for clients, okay? Take some of their ad spend dollars, put it on your video content, and actually get guaranteed views so that you can actually turn those views into attention, turn that attention into leads, and then turn those leads into sales, okay? And so you don't have to shoot content every single month for clients, because the truth is you only really need 3 to 5 videos that are strategically positioned in the marketplace to, honestly, the same thing that I'm telling you to do: understand your clients' pains, wants, frustrations, and desires, right? If you can do that for your clients' clients, okay, then you can craft very strategic videos that will increase your client's bottom line. and that's all they care about. They don't care about building new content every single month. And some people will, I'm not saying no, but the only reason they care about that is because they think that's gonna increase their bottom line, okay? So I hope that's resonating with you all. And when you go shoot content every single month, dude, it's a bad business model. It takes too much time. It is too labor intensive. All the pre-production that you have to do, and if you're not niche down, you have to do pre-production every single time because you have to figure out what you're gonna say in the scripts and plan the shots and all this other stuff, right? All the traveling and all the expenses when it comes to traveling, all the actual production, coordinating with the client, getting the client to actually do a good job of being in front of the camera, which most clients hate being in front of the camera or have a hard time doing so. It's just, or they're late to the shoot. Like all the nightmares when it comes to shooting, guys, okay? And then all the post-production. And then if you're actually doing any kind of social posting for them, like how many hours of work is that every single month just for one client? It's a lot, 10 to 40 hours per one client. The only way you can scale that kind of business is by hiring more people, but it's expensive to hire more people. And you're always gonna be tied down to shooting content every single month or every 3 months, however it is that you do it, right? So it's not profitable and it's not sustainable. And that's the thing, if you don't build the business right from the very beginning, you can scale it. You can get to 20 to 30, 50,000, whatever. But then you start realizing like, dude, like I'm making money, but now I'm like a slave to my business. The business doesn't serve me, I serve my business. And your quality of life sucks. You're stressed out, which then leads to burnout, and then you want to quit. And I've seen that happen to several of my friends, and it really saddens me because these were guys that were all about freedom and entrepreneurship and not working for the man, right? And pursuing their art. But instead, they let it go and they went back to a 9-to-5 because they just built the model wrong to begin with. Most of us, let's be honest, we got into video and photography or creative work because we're passionate about the art. Like me personally, I love doing music videos. I love doing videos of me and my family. I want to do more documentary work. I want to do more short films. That's what I'm passionate about. But we needed to make money, and we knew that these things would not sustain the life that we wanted. So we said, oh, how can I actually make money with my skill set? And you started to exchange money for the thing that you love. But when you start doing that, a lot of the times you start to hate your passion. And so me personally, like I don't really like getting paid for videography. This is what I do instead, okay? So instead of shooting content every single month and relying on that as your service, right? Leverage paid ads to get clients guaranteed attention and implement a system to turn that attention into leads and then sales. Guys, in our agency, we don't do this for all of our clients. We do two things. Number one is that for some clients, we will go shoot content. I send my videographer, or you can hire a videographer in that area if you want to, right? But we only shoot once a year. We come back, we do all the post-production, and then we run ads using all of that content that we created. We do a 2 to 3 day video shoot everything that we need, and then we're back home, okay? You can also, number two, teach your clients how to record the videos because it's social media, guys. For local businesses, a lot of the times, they don't need to have all this crazy production. What matters is what is said in the video and the edit of the video, okay? Those two things will increase the bottom line for the majority of local businesses. And so you can essentially write the scripts for the client, send those scripts to them, have them record the content, they send it to you, and then you run your paid ads strategy for that client so you can get them a result. And this is what I refer to as the ads content agency model. And guys, like you can actually go do this. And yes, there is some setup involved in doing this, but now you don't have to shoot content every single month. Now at this point, all you're doing is managing the ads for them, and managing the ads really only takes a few minutes a week for every single client. You just have to ensure that they're generating leads for their business. And that's how they really grow their business, by actually leveraging paid advertising. It's a guaranteed way to get attention. And if the video's good, that attention will convert into leads, and those leads, if you help them build a system around that, will turn into sales. And that's all the clients want. So we're overcomplicating it, guys. And this was the way that I grew my agency. The only way that I was able to scale an agency and not have a huge team to $180,000 a month is by leveraging this model, okay? And the reason why I want you to niche down is because once you find the scripts that will increase the bottom line for the clients, then you can give that same script to every single one of your clients. And then you create a process around that whole service and you hand it over to a team member. Understand that if you try to work with other industries that are not your main industry, you add more layers of complexity, and then your team actually will have a hard time fulfilling on that, or you actually won't be able to remove yourself. Because the way you're trying to build your business is as if you were building a car. A car is designed so that anybody can get on the driver's seat and drive the car. So the only way that you can go on vacation, that you can take time off and have freedom on demand, go on dates on demand, travel on demand, make money on demand, is if you have a business that functions as a car, and where you can then remove yourself from the day-to-day. You can hire an operations manager, and that operations manager will take care of the day-to-day and they will drive the car. All right. So I hope that was good. I hope that was insightful for you all. If you have any questions, follow me on Instagram, shoot me a DM. If you want to learn more about the ads content agency model, I'm personally mentoring a few people right now. So if that is something you're interested in, hit me up.